John Wayne is a Hollywood legend who's known for his iconic big screen performances. He also had a very big life when he wasn't working.
So many stories about Duke. Funny stories, crazy stories, all kinds of things.
When John Wayne passed away, the world lost an icon. But what was discovered in his estate left everyone stunned. The Duke was larger than life, a symbol of rugged American grit. But behind the scenes, his private collection held secrets no one saw coming. From rare, one-of-a-kind memorabilia to shocking hidden artifacts, every item told a story far beyond Hollywood. What was he keeping locked away? And why were some of these discoveries so controversial? Stay tuned, because what they found will change how you see John Wayne forever. John Wayne's final battle. The truth about his last days. In 1964, John Wayne, the beloved Hollywood icon, was given a life-altering news. At 57 years old, doctors informed him that he had lung cancer, a revelation that sent shockwaves through his fans and the industry. Although the diagnosis was grim, it wasn't entirely unexpected. For years, Wayne had been a heavy smoker, often going through up to 6 packs of cigarettes daily. His lifestyle had taken a toll, and now the consequences had arrived. To save his life, doctors made the difficult decision to remove his left lung and 2 ribs. The surgery was complex and carried significant risks. With only a 50% chance of survival, the odds were stacked against him. But John Wayne was a fighter both on and off the screen. Defying the statistics, he pulled through and managed to live cancer-free for the next 5 years. Most people, particularly someone in the public eye, might have chosen to keep such a personal battle private, fearful of how it might affect their image or career. But not John Wayne. True to his larger-than-life persona, he refused to hide his illness. He believed that by sharing his story, he could inspire others to be proactive about their health. When his advisors warned that being open about his cancer could harm his career, Wayne remained steadfast. He wanted to encourage people to get checked, to face cancer head-on, rather than hide from it. In typical Wayne fashion, he even came up with a nickname for the disease, calling it the Big C. By giving it a nickname, he hoped to make cancer less terrifying and more approachable. He wanted to remove the stigma and fear that surrounded it, empowering people to confront the disease. A year after his surgery in 1965, Wayne took his advocacy to the next level by appearing in a television commercial for the American Cancer Society. In the ad, he urged the public to take cancer seriously and to support research efforts. He was determined to use his platform for good, spreading awareness and urging people to take action against the disease. But his battle with cancer was far from over. In 1979, 15 years after his initial diagnosis, Wayne received devastating news once again. He had stomach cancer. Despite trying experimental treatments, including a vaccine, his health continued to decline. Even in his weakened state, Wayne didn't stop fighting. From his hospital bed, he recorded heartfelt messages asking for increased funding for cancer research. Just weeks before his death, he delivered one final, poignant plea to the public. "They might find a cure for cancer without your help, but I wouldn't bet my life on it." The same spirit that made him a Hollywood legend fueled his determination to raise awareness and funds for cancer research, even in the face of his mortality. He continued to speak out, never wavering in his dedication to the cause. By the time he filmed his final movie, The Shootist, in 1976, Wayne's health was in visible decline. The film, about an aging gunfighter dying of cancer, mirrored his real-life struggles. He was 68 years old during filming, often needing oxygen between takes just to keep going. Despite his failing health, He was determined to perform his stunts, including repeatedly falling onto a hard floor during one particularly tough scene. He never once complained. The Shootist became both a critical and commercial success, with audiences seeing it as Wayne's farewell to the silver screen. It was a deeply personal project for him, and he even had a hand in changing parts of the script to stay true to his image. In the original script, Wayne's character was shot in the back. He flatly refused to shoot a scene like that, saying, "I've never shot a man in the back in any movie. Change it." And they did. The film earned over $13 million, allowing Wayne to go out on his terms, portraying a man of courage and integrity, just as he had been in life. Wayne's passing on June 11, 1979, at the age of 72, marked the end of an era in Hollywood. He died at UCLA Medical Center after a hard-fought battle with stomach cancer. The news of his death was a crushing blow to his fans and the film industry alike. President Jimmy Carter paid tribute to him, calling Wayne bigger than life and a true American hero. Thousands of fans gathered outside the hospital and his home to pay their respects, leaving flowers, handwritten notes, and even cowboy hats in his honor. The world mourned the loss of one of its most iconic figures, and Wayne's funeral, although private, was followed by a public memorial service that was broadcast nationwide. Millions tuned in to say their goodbyes, a testament to the enormous impact he had on people from all walks of life. Even after his death, John Wayne's influence lived on. In 1985, his family founded the John Wayne Cancer Foundation to continue his fight against cancer and honor his legacy. The foundation funded groundbreaking research and helped establish the John Wayne Cancer Institute, which became a leader in cancer treatment and early detection. Thanks to the institute, countless lives were saved, a reflection of Wayne's enduring spirit and determination. At the time of his death, Wayne's estate was valued at around $6.85 million, equivalent to about $25 million today. For a man who had been one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood, some found this figure surprisingly modest. Many had expected his fortune to be much larger. This led to speculation about how he had managed his wealth. Perhaps he was more generous than people realized, giving away large sums of money throughout his life. Others wondered if the sale of certain assets, such as his beloved yacht Wild Goose, which was sold for $750,000 shortly before his death, hinted at untold stories about his finances. Wayne's love for real estate was well known. One of his most famous properties was his home in Newport Beach, California. He purchased the house in 1965 and lived there until he died in 1979. From the outside, the house appeared modest, but inside it was grand and luxurious, a reflection of Wayne's larger-than-life personality. After his passing, the home sold for $5.5 million, as in 1980, a considerable sum at the time. Before settling in Newport Beach, Wayne had lived on a sprawling 5-acre ranch in Encino. But by the age of 58, he decided to leave the ranch behind, opting for the quieter, more peaceful life by the water. He also owned properties in Arizona and Washington, demonstrating his love for diverse landscapes and his keen eye for real estate investments. As the details of Wayne's will were revealed, but what about his personal life, especially his marriages? Wayne's relationships were as complex as his film roles. How did his larger-than-life persona translate into his love life? And what secrets might still be uncovered? Stay tuned. A Star's Loves and Losses. Love life was never simple for him. It was a roller coaster filled with passion, heartbreak, and scandal. Over nearly 5 decades, he walked down the aisle 3 times, each marriage shaped by fame, distance, and fiery emotions. His first wife, Josephine Sanz, became Mrs. Wayne in 1933, just as his Hollywood journey was beginning. They built a family together, welcoming 4 children, but success came at a cost. As Wayne's career soared, his time at home dwindled. The strain only grew worse when, in 1938, he found himself drawn into a passionate affair with the legendary Marlene Dietrich. It was a secret, at least at first, but Hollywood has never been good at keeping secrets. Despite the affair, Wayne still tried to salvage his marriage. He whisked Josephine away to Mexico in 1943, hoping a change of scenery might heal old wounds, but the damage had already been done. 2 years later, their marriage ended in divorce. Wayne's second chance at love came in 1946, when he married Esperanza Bauer, a former actress from Mexico. Their relationship was intense from the start, filled with excitement, but also plagued by jealousy and suspicion. Esperanza was convinced Wayne had eyes for his co-star Gail Russell during the filming of Angel and the Bad Man in 1947. Whether her suspicions were true or not, they ate away at her, and her jealousy took a dark turn. One fateful night, Wayne came home late after a party. Esperanza had been drinking, her anger boiling over. When he stepped through the door, she grabbed a gun and, in a fit of rage, tried to shoot him. By sheer luck, no one was hurt, but their marriage had already reached the point of no return. They divorced in 1954, marking the end of yet another tumultuous chapter in his love life. That same year, Wayne found stability, at least for a while, with his third wife, Pilar Palete. They married in 1954 and had 3 children together. For nearly 2 decades, their union seemed to hold steady, but by 1973, things had unraveled. Though they separated, they never legally divorced. Instead, Wayne found comfort in the company of his secretary, Pat Stacey, who became his partner in his final years. But while his marriages were filled with turbulence, his affair with Marlene Dietrich was the stuff of Hollywood legend. It all began in 1938 on the set of 7 Sinners. Though Wayne was still married to Josephine, he couldn't resist Dietrich's magnetic charm. Their passion burned fiercely for nearly a decade, and their relationship wasn't just about romance. Dietrich played a crucial role in shaping his career. She pulled strings behind the scenes, securing him leading roles in films like The Spoilers and Pittsburgh in 1942. Even after their love affair ended in 1947, they remained close. Dietrich often called Wayne the love of her life, a sentiment she never wavered from. One of the most enduring and talked about relationships in Wayne's life was his deep connection with Maureen O'Hara. They starred in 5 films together, beginning with Rio Grande in 1950. But it was The Quiet Man in 1952 that cemented their legendary on-screen chemistry. Their fiery dynamic left fans convinced they were a couple in real life. O'Hara often laughed about it, recalling how an elderly woman once stopped her in the street, mistaking her for Wayne's wife. But was there more to their bond than just friendship? Years later, O'Hara's grandson revealed that the two did share a brief romance, but it was doomed from the start. They were both too strong-willed, too headstrong to ever make it work. Yet, despite this, O'Hara stood by Wayne until the very end. When cancer stole his strength in his final years, she fought to ensure he received the recognition he deserved, helping him secure a congressional medal to honor his legacy. In his last years, Wayne found solace in the quiet companionship of Pat Stacey. Their relationship wasn't just about romance, it was about support. She became his caretaker, his constant presence, the person who held his hand through the pain of his illness. They lived together from 1973 until he died in 1979. After he was gone, Pat immortalized their love in her 1983 book, Duke, A Love Story, giving the world a rare glimpse into the softer, more vulnerable side of the man known for his tough guy image. She never remarried, instead dedicating her life to keeping his memory alive. But before the fame, before the love affairs and heartbreak, who was he? What shaped the man who would become an icon? Stay tuned, because his early life was filled with unexpected twists that no one saw coming. John Wayne, the making of a legend and the secrets that linger. John Wayne, born Marion Robert Morrison on May 26, 1907, in Winterset, Iowa, came into the world destined for greatness. At birth, he weighed an extraordinary 13 pounds, a detail that caught the attention of the local press, hinting at his future larger-than-life presence. However, it wasn't just his size that made him remarkable. At only 3 years old, Wayne's life nearly ended when he fell into a freezing creek. Miraculously, a stranger pulled him to safety, a moment that would define his incredible resilience. The young boy's life took another twist when his parents, after the birth of his brother Robert, decided to change his middle name to Mitchell. In 1914, the family moved to Glendale, California, after his father's business collapsed. Here, young Marion earned the nickname Duke after his loyal Airedale Terrier. The name stuck, and so did the bond. Wayne's path to fame wasn't smooth. Initially a football star with a scholarship to the University of Southern California, a devastating injury led him down a different road. With his football dreams shattered, he found a job at Fox Studios in 1927, earning just $35 a week. While struggling through more than 80 low-budget westerns, he formed a life-changing friendship with director John Ford, who would push him to become the legendary John Wayne. Then, a breakthrough came in 1939 with Stagecoach, and the world would soon recognize him as the ultimate Western hero. But the price of fame was steep. Wayne's career was built on tough choices, from rejecting major roles to enduring constant challenges with director Ford. Their partnership would shape some of Hollywood's finest films, but Wayne also had personal projects, including the Grand Alamo, which he financed himself. Despite countless obstacles, Wayne rose to the top, culminating in an Oscar win for True Grit in 1970. But his story wasn't just one of triumphs. It was filled with struggles, sacrifice, and unforgettable roles that cemented him as a symbol of American strength. Yet behind the legend, there are mysteries, hidden treasures within his estate that have baffled those close to him. What secrets lie buried within his property, waiting to be uncovered? Stay tuned, because the discovery may surprise you. Shocking discoveries in John Wayne's estate. Secrets unveiled after decades. After John Wayne died in 1979, his passing triggered a whirlwind of drama that continued for years. The most shocking part was his decision to leave nothing to his third wife, Pilar Petty, with whom he had been married for over 20 years. Despite their separation in 1973, 6 years before his death, they never divorced. Yet, John Wayne chose to leave the majority of his estate to his 7 children from his first 2 marriages, leading to widespread speculation about the nature of his relationship with Petty and why she was excluded from his will. The family drama didn't end there. In 2010, a legal battle erupted when Wayne's daughter, Aissa, sued her brother, Ethan and John Wayne Enterprises, disputing her rightful share of the company. Adding fuel to the fire, Wayne's will also gave personal items and memorabilia to his children, which only escalated tensions among the family. These personal treasures, instead of bringing unity, deepened the rifts, showing just how contentious the division of his legacy had become. The feud over keepsakes became a painful symbol of lasting family conflict. However, in 2011, something unexpected happened, bringing joy to Wayne's fans. A major auction was held at the High Century Plaza in Los Angeles on October 6th and 7th, where over 700 items from Wayne's life and career were up for sale. It was as if a time capsule had opened after over 30 years. Fans and collectors had the rare opportunity to own pieces of Wayne's history, ranging from costumes, props, awards, and furniture from his home to personal items like his last driver's license and even his colorful neckerchiefs. Among the standout items was his green beret from the movie The Green Berets in 1968, which sold for a record $179,200, a reflection of Wayne's iconic status. Even his cowboy hat, worn in films like Big Jake and the Cowboys, fetched $119,500. The auction offered fans not only a glimpse into Wayne's film career, but also into the man behind the tough guy persona.
Well, come to see a fat old man sometime. Yeah!
His books, reflecting a passion for history and military strategy, revealed a more thoughtful side, while personal items like a gold-plated Winchester rifle, given as a gift to a friend, showed his generosity. The auction also featured unexpected treasures, such as a collection of seashells, a quirky side of Wayne that few people knew about. One of the most valuable pieces was a portrait of Wayne by artist John Decker, which sold for $71,700. This particular item was special because it had been displayed in Wayne's home, indicating its deep personal significance. The auction also offered personal family photos, letters, and even furniture from his home, providing fans with an intimate look at Wayne's private life. These items painted a picture of a man who, beyond his Hollywood fame, was a father, a friend, and a person with deep connections to those he cared about. John Wayne's legacy has been marred by controversial comments he made in a 1971 Playboy interview, where he expressed views on white supremacy and Native American land rights. These statements resurfaced in 2019, sparking debates about whether his personal beliefs should overshadow his career. The controversy grew in 2020, following George Floyd's death, with activists calling for John Wayne Airport in California to be renamed due to his racist remarks. This led to a heated debate in Orange County, with some defending Wayne's legacy, while others felt his name should be removed as a sign of progress. Additionally, the University of Southern California faced pressure to take down an exhibit honoring Wayne due to his past statements. The debate about whether to separate an artist's work from their personal views remains unresolved. Some argue Wayne's iconic films like The Searchers and Rio Bravo should be appreciated on their own, while others contend that his racist views and the stereotypes in his films cannot be separated from his artistic contributions. This ongoing issue highlights the difficulty in reconciling a person's public image with their personal beliefs. Are you surprised that John Wayne didn't include his third wife in his will, despite still technically being married to her when he died? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.